Hey guys, and welcome back to the randomized K-On! Pokemon Team series. We're getting to the end of the Kanto portion, so now we're moving on to, in my opinion, the most underappreciated of the 9 main K-Ons, June. So let's see what she ends up with. Pokemon number 1 of June's team is Tauros. That is a great start. While Tauros is mostly forgotten about nowadays, it was one of the best Pokemon to use in Gen 1. It has great stats with high attack, defense, and speed. It could hit hard and fast, and crits a lot. And while it may not have had the widest moveset ever, it was still pretty good for what it was. It is a shame that it lost popularity after Gen 1, but I guess we can always appreciate how good it used to be. And if we wanted to be funny, we could always give June 30 of the things like what Ash has, even though I'm pretty sure he only uses 1. The second Pokemon June gets is Radicate. That's not amazing, but not terrible. It'll pretty much get clobbered by a lot of things, but having Eradicate isn't the worst thing ever. It has decent enough attack and speed, so it'll be fairly strong in battle. And it does learn some good moves, Super Fang being arguably its best level up move, and the addition of Water, Ice, and Electric is great for coverage, despite Radicate's not having great special. So while it may follow the trend of early rodents Pokemon that may only help early on, it's definitely worth trying at least once. I have one on my red team, and it did fairly well. It's not an OP Pokemon, but it's still decent. June's third Pokemon is Onyx. I don't think that's bad per se. Onyx is fairly decent in Gen 1. It is a shame that it only has its defense going for it, but its speed isn't bad for a rock type. It's also quite limited in moves, but getting Earthquake is nice. Overall, Steelix from Gen 2 onwards is a lot better, but if you wanted a wool for your team, Onyx should be at least a consideration. I don't really know what else to say, so I guess we'll move along. Moving on to June's fourth Pokemon, she gets Porygon. That's pretty alright. June gets to use an artificially made Pokemon. Now, I'm not entirely sure of Porygon's relevance in Gen 1, but looking at its stats, it seems quite okay. They're not amazing, but they still look pretty balanced except for speed. And while its moveset doesn't exactly scream variety, it's not bad. The abundance of psychic moves is pretty nice. So while Porygon may not be the most powerful normal type, I think it has the potential to get the job done and be a strong team member. The fifth Pokemon June gets to use is Blastoise. Not bad at all. This is basically the go-to Pokemon for Gen 1 speedrunners. It has great defense with pretty good everything else. And it does have a few good choices for moves, especially Ice and Ground to cover against its two big weaknesses, Grass and Electric. It's nice we're finally seeing the starters appear. While Venusaur is generally regarded as the best Kanto starter, Blastoise is by no means terrible. This is definitely a solid Pokemon to have. Blue did use it in Origins, and it really gave Red a run for his money. You need a good water type? You can't really go wrong with Blastoise. And the last Pokemon June gets is Vaporeon. Nice, another evolution, and what is considered the best evolution in Gen 1. Vaporeon is a solid water type in its own right. Very bulky with very good special. You have to hit it pretty hard to take it down. Being a pure water type, it is a bit narrow in its moves, but like with some others, the ice moves are nice to have. Now Vaporeon isn't considered the best evolution overall anymore, but it is still high up there, and it was considered the best in Gen 1, so it would still be a great addition to have on a team. And that's it for June's Gen 1 team. It's far from overpowered given that we're limited to Gen 1 at the moment, but there are some strong team members here, so if June really applied herself, given that she is on the lazy side, she'd probably do well, and maybe have fun being a trainer. As always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to come join me on Discord. Consider backing me on Patreon. And remember to stay chilled.